waqf is not complete yet unless one of three things take place as well. النية, the intention. So this person who said حرمت هذا المكان يعني لوجه. So we come to him, we say, what did you mean? Did you mean waqf? If he says yes, then it's waqf. If he says no, then he's still entitled to it, to the house or to the land. Unless the next thing. أو باقتران أحد الألفاظ الخمسة الباقية. Or the other thing beside النية, if he used one of those three with one of the five left, the three of الصريح and the two left of الكناية. So if he say حرمت وحبست, حرمت وحبست, that is waqf. If he says حرمت وأبدت, وقف. حرمت سبلت, وقف. طيب حبست وسبلت. Okay, so if he uses one of those three indirect words with any other word of the five, the three of the direct and the two of the indirect, then this becomes waqf. The third condition, if it takes place, then it's waqf along with one of those three words. أن يقترن به ما يدل على الوقف. It's not the five words along with the word, but anything else that indicates that it's waqf. So for example, he says حرمت أو تصدقت أو أبدت هذه الأرض على ألا تباع وألا تهب وألا تورث. So if I say that يعني I gave this in charity, so it will not be sold and it will not be inherited and it will not be given as a gift, that means it's waqf. Alright? So anything that indicates, or one of the words of indirect plus any other word of the left between direct and indirect, or in niyyah, or the intention. الصيغة الفعلية. Now this is the الصيغة القولية. This is to say. But we said الوقف becomes waqf either by saying or by acting. What does it mean by acting? يعني you build a masjid. That's it. That's waqf. You don't have to say this is waqf. It's waqf. Okay? You build a masjid. Masjid is known as a waqf. So there is no need to say once you pray in it or once you allow people to pray in it, that is waqf lillah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَأَنَّ الْمَسَاجِدَ لِلَّهِ. Now, there is a difference here between masjid and musalla. And if you confused, because the masajid has its own ahkam, musallayat have its own ahkam. Yani for example, salat tahiyyat al-masjid. A lot of the ulama say there is no tahiyyat al-masjid in al-musalla. Okay? يعني many ahkam. Salat al-jama'ah, another issue. But the point is, if you are confused, is this masjid or musalla? Always go to this thing, the issue of al-waqf. Is this waqf or it's not? We said al-waqf, you cannot sell, cannot give away, you cannot rent, you cannot this and that. Okay? So if you ask, can this be sold? Does anyone have the right to sell Masjid al-Iman? No. So Masjid al-Iman is masjid. But let's say masjid, for example, Shamsuddin. Shamsuddin is part of a plaza that the brothers are renting a piece of it. Piece of the plaza, a couple of the stores. So since it's renting, that means it's not waqf. Got it? Because they can ask them to leave at any minute. And we said al-waqf becomes for Allah. That's it. You cannot sell it, you cannot do anything with it. So Shamsuddin is musalla. So any place that is rented very much is musalla. Because they can come and kick you out at any minute. But something that is bought and in the possession of the Muslims, that is masjid, for example. Alright? So that is one of the ways to know the difference between musalla and masajid. Yani you go, for example, back home, every public place, let's say يعني دائرة حكومية, government building or public building, you find place for salah in that place. That is musalla. No one says that masjid. Because they can change it and they can close it whenever they want. They can say we don't want musalla anymore. Go in a hospital, airport, يعني places in school, there's musalla. Every school has a musalla. But they can say, you know what, we don't want you to pray here anymore. Go to the masjid. Stuff like that. So that is a difference. قال ابن قدامة مثل أن يبني مسجدا في الصلاة فيه أو سقاية ويشرعها للناس. So الصيغة الفعلية is you build a masjid and you call adhan. You call the adhan once, that makes this place masjid, waqf lillah. Okay, you don't have to say waqf. You cannot change 5 years later. You say, I built a masjid and costed me this and this. Now I feel like I need money, so I'm going to go sell it. You can't do that. Once you establish the prayer in it once, and you called, even if you called the adhan once, this is waqf lillah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You don't have the right to do anything, even if you paid for it from your pocket every single penny. أو سقاية وشرعها للناس. سقاية يعني معناها toilets, دورات المياه, يعني public bathrooms. Some people يعني build public bathrooms for the people to use and they get the ajr. People make wudu, people يعني use it. So once you open it for the people and they start using it, that's it. You cannot change your mind and you say, I don't want it anymore. People are mean. You just let it go and let people benefit from it. وأيضا يعني ذكر العلماء المقبرة. يعني you have a piece of land and the very first person you allow to be buried in there, that is waqf. Now it's a maqbara, it's a graveyard, cemetery, and it becomes waqf. You cannot sell it. Right? That is another example that ulama use. So here we talk about صيغة الفعلية. يعني you don't need to say waqf. Just by the action, it becomes waqf. By what you use it for. Some issues يعني just to talk. Waqf and wasiyah. We know, we haven't talked about al-wasiyah yet, but with al-wasiyah, if the person is in his death sickness, no one knows, but if he's in that sickness and he dies after it, but during that sickness he writes a will, he does not have the right to write in his will to give away, for example, more than one third of his wealth. And if I have $3 million when I'm dying, I can say 1 million goes as a waqf. That's okay, but I cannot say 1,100,000 because I cannot give away more than 1/3. If I'm in the disease of my death or the sickness of my death, يعني بنازع. But if I'm healthy, I have the right to give away everything. Okay? If I'm healthy and I'm not sick, and if I have $10 million and I decide to give it all as charity, there is nothing haram in that. Okay? So when it comes to waqf, the same thing. If you're healthy and functioning fine, you're not sick, you can put